In public discussion of business, we take certain values for granted. Today, I'm going to talk about four of them: collaboration, hard work, creativity, and excellence. Most people would say they are all good things. I'm going to suggest that an oversimple view. The trouble with these values is that they are theoretical concepts removed from the reality of day to day business. Pursue values by all means, but be prepared for what may happen as a result. They can actually cause damage, which is not at all the intention. Business leaders randomly try to do the right thing, but too often the right thing backfires. If those leaders adopt values without understanding and monitoring the side effects that arise, the values can easily get in the way of what's actually intended. Okay, so the first value I'm going to discuss is collaboration. Let me give you an example. On a management training course I once attended, we were put into groups and had to construct a bridge across the stream using building parts that we were given. The rule was that everyone in the team had to move at least one building block during the construction. It was intended to encourage teamwork, but it was really a job done by one person. The other teams tried to collaborate on building the structure and descended into confusion, with everyone getting in each other's building in other way. Our team leader thought the talent brilliantly. She simply asked everyone in the team to move a piece of few centimeters to complete with the rule, and then let the person in the team with an aptitude for puzzles like this build it alone. We finished before any other team and practiced that the task weren't really suited to team working. So why make it on? Teamwork can also lead to inconsistency, a common cause of poor sales. In the case of a smartphone that, that a certain company launched, one director wanted to target the business market, and another demanded it was aimed at consumers. The company wanted both directors to be involved to give the product a consumer-friendly name, but marketed it to companies. The result that was that it met the needs of neither group. It would have been better to let one director or the other have his way, not both. Now, industriousness or hard work. It's easy to mock people who say they work hard. After all, a hamster running around in a wheel is working hard and getting nowhere. Of course, hard work is valuable, but only when properly targeted. Otherwise, it wastes the resources that companies value most: time and energy. And that's bad for the organization. That's a management model that groups people according to four criteria: clever, hardworking, stupid, and lazy. Here, lazy means having a rational determination not to carry out unnecessary tasks. It doesn't mean trying to avoid work altogether. Most people display two of these characteristics. The most valuable people are those who are both clever and lazy. The process is intellectual clarity, and they don't rush into making decisions. They come up they come up with solutions to save the time and energy spent by the stupid and hardworking group instead of throwing more man hours at a problem. The clever and lazy group looks for a more effective solution. Next, we come to creativity. This often works well, creating an attention-grabbing TV commercial. For example, might lead to increased sales, but it isn't always a good thing. Some of adver- advertising campaigns are remembered for their creatively without having any effect on sales. This happened a few years ago with the launch for chocolate bar. Subsequent research shows that plenty of customers remembered the adverts but had no idea what was being advertised. The trouble is that the creator derives pleasure from coming up with the idea and wrongly assumes the audience for the campaign will share that feeling. A company that brings out thousands of new products may seem more creative than a company that only has a few, but it may be too creative and make smaller profits. Creativity needs to be targeted to solve a problem that the company has identified. Just coming up with more and more novel products isn't necessarily a good thing. And finally, excellence. We all know companies that claim they strive for excellence, but it takes a long time to achieve excellence in business. Being first with a product is more profitable than having the best product. A major study of company performance compared pioneers, that is, companies bring out the first version of a particular product with flowers, the companies that copied and improved on that product. The study found that the pioneers commanded an average market share of 29%, while the flowers achieved less than half that, only 13%, even though their product might have been better. Insisting on excellence in everything we do is time consuming, wastes energy, and leads to losing out on opportunities. Sometimes second rate work is more worthwhile than excellence. Make sure it's excellent sounds like a good approach to business, but the just get started approach is likely to be more stressful.